My name is Leisa Howard. I own the Arthur Murray Dance Center in Columbia, Maryland. I've been in the Arthur Murray system for 17 years now. Previous to working at Arthur Murray, I was a figure skater in Canada, and I had a little bit of an injury that caused me to retire from the figure skating world. So I went into Arthur Murray in a studio in Toronto, and I worked there for 3 years. I then met my husband, who worked at the Alexandria location. So I moved and started dancing there with him. He also started straight out of training class, and we went through training class. We became top teachers, specialists, counselors, supervisors, and while we were competing, worked at the at the time, the #1 studio, which was Alexandria, Virginia. Once we retired, we did become U.S. National 9-Dance champions, Arthur Murray 5-time 9-Dance champions, and Arthur Murray Smooth champions. And then once we retired, we opened up our own studio in Columbia, and we've been there now for 7 years. My very first student that I ever taught as a new teacher, I believe, was given to me as a gift and a lesson. This gentleman that I worked with, he was maybe about 65 when he came in, and he had a hunchback, couldn't walk very well, kind of like staggered along, wouldn't talk to me. If I asked him a question, he would go, you know. It took me a really long time to get him to even do a half smile for me. But I kept working with him, and I kept working with him, and I didn't give up on working on his posture. And then all of a sudden I started to see slow transitions of other things. Instead of coming in sweatpants, he would start to dress up a little bit. He would come in dress slacks and maybe a dress shirt. All of a sudden, after a couple of years, he's standing up straight. After a couple of years, you know, he was also going to dance-oramas now. He had a brand new haircut. He would smile at me. He started to talk to me. All of a sudden, I realized that this gentleman was a multimillionaire, and I never would have guessed that at the first glimpse of him. We went to a dance room. I was actually in Vegas, and we were sitting there talking, and he just looked at me and he said, "You know that Arthur Murray saved my life." And I looked at him and I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "When I came in to take dance lessons, I was ready to die. I had lived a life. It was a good life. I was ready to go. I thought, why not try this?" And then he told me that all of the added benefits that he has gained, the posture, the confidence, what Arthur Murray does as far as the glamour and the style, but how we really reach out to people and we don't give up on them and we keep fighting for them. He said that he wanted to relive again. It made him want to live his life all over again. And that lesson of not only not judging somebody by the way that they come in, you never know who they are, what life they've lived, or anything like that. The most important thing to me was to never give up on him and to keep working with him. And I saw this completely transform and change his life. And in that moment, I realized that people don't just come in to take dance lessons. They can change their life through dancing. And that's what we have the ability and the magic to do.